A very nearly seamless transition.
Almost. I almost had it.
It's okay. We tried. We're going to get it one day where it's just going to be smooth and everyone's going to wonder where that 1 second clip is, but that's okay.
You know what I should do? I have the access to JPJ, who does this for me on Thursday nights. I should see what he does.
You just that
he's a pro's pro. But anyway, welcome back. Episode 3. We've made it to 3 episodes, Blair, of 4 Exposure, your weekly independent wrestling breakdown. And Lawrence is already in the house, saying so close. I know, Lawrence. I've had a week, Lawrence. You know this. You know this.
That's okay.
Before I tell you how I'm doing, Blair, how are you?
I'm doing as good as can be for a Saturday morning. I mean, went for a run and sat around in the house all sweaty, folding laundry, getting everyone else's clothes dirty. So that's perfect. And then now I'm here. So it's been a good morning.
Ooh. Causing everyone else in the house to get sweaty, Blair. Sounds like a good time.
Causing chaos.
Chaos.
So how was your morning?
My morning was great. It was fine. We didn't get fired yesterday at our weekly Spencer Love meeting.
That's good.
For those that don't know, we had Sean Ross Sapp join us. He's very costly. Spencer does not like to spend money, but we spent it anyway. That's what he gets for booking Shaza McKenzie after he told Spencer he would, even though we're excited for We Think You Should Larry at LPW 16 on June 30th. It's going to be awesome. So, but I would like to, since this is an independent wrestling show, if I could take the top to just air some grievances. That clip that has been surfacing on the social medias of me, quote unquote, apologizing to the Rads, your former LPW tag team champions, your former challenge champion, and TY, well, he hasn't won a championship yet, was heavily edited. I was coerced into, against my will, making that statement. That is a heavily edited and clipped apologies. So I would like it to be taken down. Lawrence is in the chat. He's our legal counsel. Maybe he can work his magic. I can also maybe hit up his friends in the Bird Law, get a little stronger legal team around me if need be, because these rats are a pain in my side. But other than that, I'm doing good. Last weekend was crazy. Let's hope we don't have any incidents of my internet deciding to act a fool. It was very busy weekend last weekend. So
yeah.
I didn't personally watch as much independent wrestling as I would on a given weekend. I only watched a few things, like the GCW FSW show. Those are always fun. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But this week, I think we're going to heavily break down the Black Label Pro show today in Crown Point. I'll be there, Fancy Wrestling too. So if you're there, say hi to me. I'm an approachable guy. We got the GCW Tournament of Survival and the Defy show. We're going to talk about those cards today at length and get you guys on your merry way to get you ready for a busy weekend of independent wrestling.
It's nice. You know, you got a little something for everyone. You know, you got the mid-afternoon Black Label Pro show. You got your Tournament of Survival for the deathmatch fans. And you got Defy just putting on another top to bottom fantastic card. So, it's no matter what your cup of tea is, there's something for you out there.
That's why I love independent wrestling. There's something for everyone. And guess what? If you don't like something, just turn it off.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to watch it. So you don't have to be mean about it either. No, just a
thought.
Thought.
Don't like deathmatch wrestling. There's something else you'll like. You know, you don't like flippy stuff. Hey, go watch some grappling. You know, put on Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
Oof, you're set.
That's a fun time.
So I've only watched a couple of those.
I watched this past one as a collective. It's a fun time. It's different. It's unique. It's a wild scene, but I enjoyed it for what it was because it's different. But where do you want to start, Blair? Where do you want to?
Well, I mean, we can take a look at that GCW FSW show from last weekend because that kind of snuck under the radar. You know, it was with Double or Nothing weekend that kind of took the spotlight for everything. But there was a couple really fun matches on that show,
and it was at like 10 o'clock Eastern time because they were in Vegas, so. It was like one of these things where it's kind of like I was just sitting around. I was like, oh, shoot, there's a show on right now. I didn't even know it like popped up in my notifications. And I was like, oh, crap, I better keep an eye on this one. It was a lot of fun. I like what GCW does. These GCW versus we had IWS not too long ago. They do GCW. They're going to be doing one against New South, like where they go to other territories because those fan bases get rabid and excited for their teams going up against GCW. And then, of course, the GCW fan is just a breed of its own, and they're excited. So it's a good time. You get the duel. You get Emil J, and I don't know the other guys, the other announcer's name. It's escaping me, but, you know, he's announcing his guy, and Emil's announcing theirs, and it's just a lot of fun. I really have fun. Love wrestling in the house saying morning, guys. I'm not sure which one of the bosses is checking in, but I can confirm no budget will be blown today on this show. We did not. Maybe. Then again, I don't think so. Unless Blair has, you know, like The Rock joining us or something.
No, he was busy. So I mean, I had reached out. He's got prior commitments. You know, he doesn't really keep his finger on the pulse of independent wrestling as much as some of us. So I didn't want to put him into a situation where he's not going to be comfortable. So we might do something down the line. He talked about maybe Hobbs and Shaw too. I don't know. Maybe I'll be joining him there. You know?
All I know is I think he learned his lesson when he put over the NWA on that tweet once upon a time. Boy, The Rock gives you the stamp of approval, and this is how you repay him. Which the Crockett Cup is this weekend too. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend, like professional, independent wrestling wise. But we're not here to talk about the Crockett Cup today.
No, nor they're. You know, because plus,
I did.
We're not wrestling fans. We're not wrestling fans because we don't support Tyus. So
yes, I did check in with Dwayne. Can we talk about that real quick? I know this is an independent wrestling show. They have independent people on NWA, but like just saying that in general about anybody, like if you don't like so and so, you're not a wrestling fan. We just talked about it 30 seconds ago. Wrestling is for everyone.
Yeah.
If it's not your cup of tea, that's okay. That's why I love wrestling, right? That's why I gravitated towards this and it became what it has become, however you want to say it, is because everything in wrestling is subjective. If you enjoy deathmatch wrestling, that's awesome. And if I don't enjoy it, that's cool too. Like you could tell me, I think, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin's the greatest wrestler of all time. And I could say, okay, well, that's your opinion. That's awesome. Yeah. And there's not any right or wrong answer. So for a wrestling promoter,
nonetheless,
a promoter who's trying to get you to watch his program says, if you don't like who we have as champion, you're not a wrestling fan. That's like a slap in the face. Like that. No, we just don't enjoy your champion. So why I've said it privately, I'll say it publicly, like he makes it incredibly difficult to root for his promotion considering he has a roster of very talented people.
100%, because there are many wrestlers wrestling under the NWA banner that I like to support, you know, that I will go to my way to watch. But when you make a comment like that, it's like, well, hold on, you know, because I'm here supporting your product, supporting people on your shows, but I'm not a wrestling fan because I don't support your champion. I'm not a fan of him. That's not the way to go about things.
No, not at all. Not at all. I agree with that, Blair.
Yeah.
Because it's and the NWA they've given the platform to like LA Knight. He was in NWA as Eli Drake, Eddie Kingston. You have the Pope. You have Ricky Starks was there. Thunder Rosa was there. Like they had this really cool thing going, and they it's a great exposure for the exposure. Hey, for talent, but you got to make us want it. And it was good to see Camille has disagreed with it. You could see some of the wrestlers did not agree with Mr. Corgan's statements, and Camille's fan. That's another one. Camille is your champion. She's one of your longest reigning champs. Yeah. She's one of the longest reigning champs in North American wrestling right now. I don't know if Japan has anybody that's on like a Roman Camille type run, because I don't follow Japanese wrestling as much as I should.
I don't think anyone on the main promotions has a run as long as theirs. They definitely promote that more.
So yeah, Billy, you should be promoting Camille. You should be promoting the Pope. If you want to have Tyrus as your champion, that's fine, but don't make me feel like a bad wrestling fan because I don't enjoy his in-ring work. And we'll just keep it just in-ring alone. That's not great.
No,
but that's okay. But that's not why we're here. But I figured that rant needed to be said because that's been making the airwaves. Man, he just keeps shooting himself in the foot.
So I mean, it's the ultimate infinite sadness. Oh
yeah! Oy, got it.
He's trying to work in a Smashing Pumpkins.
This ain't 1979, Billy Corgan. Hey.
It's no bullet with butterfly wings up in here. You know, we like everything.
Despite all of his rage. All right, we digress.
So FSW, GCW. I mean, like I said,
Omar in the house. What is good, friend?
What's up,
Omar, one of the new contributors here at Love Wrestling. Go check out his stuff at Love Wrestling, at lovewrestling.ca on the interwebs. He did some writing. I did some writing over there. We got some stuff popping, but we'll talk about this gentleman here in a little bit. Hunter Drake, get to know him.
That FSW GCW show, I mean, like I said, it snuck under the radar for me because I didn't know about it till you were like, hey, FSW GCW.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Okay, I'm gonna go check it out. And I was able to catch a few matches from it. There was some fun stuff on there, and I like this because it gives a spotlight to some guys who you might have heard of, but you're not going to see regularly. You know, like Danny Limelight is the FSW No Limits champion there. You know, he was,
and I didn't even know that until last week.
Yeah, he was a big part of AEW during the pandemic, wrestling on Dark regularly. You know, even New Japan Strong, he's they're one of their champions there. And him and Titus Alexander, I mean, they had a really fun match. I mean, Titus Alexander, he's so young, but to me, he's like the next cusp of like independent wrestling stars. You know, like you're just waiting for him to be onto that next level. So that was a lot of fun for me. I really enjoyed those two going at it.
Yeah, I one of the matches that stuck out to me was Maserati and Rina Yamashita. They had a fun match. It was kind of an interesting thing though. Like the FSW crowd for like the first half of the show had people they didn't like that were heels in their promotion wrestling. So there was the biggest pop of the night was when they finally got to that six-man tag where it was GCW's Gringo Loco, Jack Hartwheel, and Alec Price versus, oh my gosh, his name, I just watched it. The names are escaping me.
Against Prodigy.
Yeah, thank you.
Young, Prodigy, Damian Drake, and Matt Vandegrift.
That's what those guys. I literally just watched it this morning to refresh it because it was so much fun. They finally, like, the crowd finally had somebody that were like, and they did a cartwheel off, and that match was just a lot of fun. Like, the whole, we got, hey, Spencer, Blair, Pluggo, baby, what's good? Baby? That's good. I'm like not doing a good job here with these buttons. We got Baby in the house. We got Omar in the house. We got Lawrence, the greatest lawyer in the business in the house, got me $3,000 from the Rads for using my gimmick, our gimmick on beards, I should say. But yeah, no, it's just cool to see these things. Like, I don't know a ton about the FSW, but like now I'm going to keep an eye on some of these people and see where they go. But that 6-person tag match was a lot of fun, man. They slayed. Like, I said this on another podcast, but like when I first discovered Gringo Loco, I thought it was like a joke gimmick.
So did I. 100%.
When I first found him in MLW, I was like, but then you like watch him in the ring and it's like, nope, this dude is phenomenal. Like, I have a lot of time, as Spencer Love would say, for Gringo Loco.
His MLW run didn't do him justice for just how talented he is, because when I'm watching him there, like you said, you're thinking it's almost like a comedy character, but you see him in front of fans and just what he can do in the ring, and it's night and day difference. So I'm glad he's getting this chance to shine, getting the show the shows yearly, the Lucha shows. So I'm glad for him.
Speaking of MLW runs that didn't do a wrestler justice, Jordan Oliver had himself one with They had him. He had a match here with Jacob Armstrong, Austin Young, Jacob Austin Young. I should probably write those down when I'm like, oh, that name is gonna draw a blank when I start talking about it.
I have it punched up here, so
I need to.
I knew I was gonna forget.
I always forget. I'm like, oh wait, yeah, I know the person's name. I just watched it, but no, that was a fun match. Jordan Oliver's on a tear. I tweeted it out earlier. The dude's probably at the short list for Independent Wrestler of the Year right now. This the list of people he's wrestled and beat in the run he's on. So that was cool. That was a fun match. And then you had Billy Starks versus Viva Van at the end. Like, what a good time. What a fun show. Like, just overall, the crowd was hyped behind it the whole time. And it was a good time. And then the six persons, the scramble match with Starboy Charlie winning. Got a lot of time for Starboy.
You know what Jordan Oliver's run reminds me of this year is Mike Bailey's run last year, where he had just a year of incredible matches. Like it was one after another. Every weekend, every other weekend, people are saying, hey, you got to go check out, Mike Bailey and Brian Keith, Mike Bailey and whomever, because every match was just incredible. And that's the same with Jordan Oliver, because I didn't know much about Jacob Austin Young heading into this, but afterwards, the match they had, fantastic. Like Jordan Oliver's Cloud Cutter, I will pop for that move every time. So,
well, just a fun little one.
Yeah, I really like that match. And the same ones, the Viva Van and Billy Starks, they had a great match, and both of them are two that you're almost waiting for them to get signed by one of the bigger companies. And,
I think Billy is.
With AEW, they just haven't.
I just don't think that they've made the full blown announcement yet. But I heard rumblings and rumors that she is. So we'll see. Maybe I'll ask her today when I see her at Black Label Pro. Like, yo, Billy, it's me, Pluggo. Remember? Are you signed?
What's the deal here? What are we doing?
What's going on here? Scoops over. I need some scoops.
I got to drop the news on 4 Exposure, so just let me know.
Come on, help me out. And she'll be like, security, get him out of here.
The main event, though, I mean, I just wanted to touch on this because it was between Alex Hammerstone and Joey Janela. And I mean, talk about two wrestlers that I never would have imagined in a main event together. And you've got Joey Janela, like prototypical independent wrestler, a huge following, lots of fans, lots of fun in the ring. And then you have Alex Hammerstone, who's like big, jacked up, like muscle, like he's got muscles on top of muscles, like peak physical, whatever. And you have these two in the ring, and you're just like, this is a match that, like, to me is something you would come up with in like WWE 2K.
Yeah.
It's on an independent show. So I love that.
Hammerstone is just a brick house. Like, I'm surprised he's not in a bigger spot. Bebe saying he thinks that Starks is signed. I do too. I do remember some rumblings of that. And I know that if you follow her socials, her interview number has kind of dipped a little bit, which is usually a telltale sign that you sign with a big company when your interviews kind of go down and you're closing them up. Jordan Oliver, great pro wrestler. Also, screenshot these. This is true. Lawrence has beef with Jordan Oliver, so we got to pick a side, Blair, because I'm not going against my lawyer, but he stole Lawrence's screenshot when they were up in Canada for GCW versus IWS. He woke Omar's waking up and he's recording a podcast with a guest. That'll be awesome. We can't wait. Goated. Yes, he is goated.
Peak physical, whatever.
Dude, Hammerstone's just ripped. Hammerstone, that's a guy. That's a guy that I would love to have an interview with, but it sounds like he doesn't do a lot of interviews because he one time went public and said, it's more for you than it is for me, and you guys asked me the same question.
Yeah, I saw that one. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm just gonna let you do your thing.
I'm just not gonna ask because I don't want to be that guy. Hey, listen, hey, Hammerstone, how'd you get your name? Like, I'm not doing this interview with.
If you talk to him, it's got to be about stuff like not wrestling related. Be like, so what was your first CD you bought?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Tacos or burritos?
Mm-hmm. What do you like?
So... But yes, that is true, because I actually, fun fact, when that happened, so I am an honorary Canadian now, if you didn't know, because of that. Speedball Mike Bailey, when he turned on GCW, I joined the team. I went full hacksaw Jim Duggan on him. I went from didn't. Yeah, you did. This is true. So Spencer got in there before the whole, like, if you don't, he kind of went on this, like, he definitely shortened up his interview. I say it in jest. Hammerstone's a good dude. But yeah, so Lawrence took a screenshot of the show and took a shot at Jordan Oliver, and of course he used it. And I was about to show up. I almost drove up there and took care of business, but they settled. So good for you, Jordan Oliver.
Yeah,
we're fans.
It was almost on site.
And I bet you, if you go to this very channel that you're on, Love Wrestling, on YouTube, you'll find that Hammerstone interview that Spencer did right here a few years back. I bet it's on here somewhere. I know Spencer knows where it's at. I think I've actually seen it, if I'm not mistaken.
I encourage
that Spencer Love guy is pretty good at interviews.
He is. I encourage everyone to go to the Love Wrestling YouTube page and go look through those videos, because there are tons of interviews on there, tons of videos. Definitely go check them out. I mean, there was a Kylan King one that I was watching the other day, so go see, because I can guarantee you, you're going to find something fun.
Archived on the old Patreon machine. So that's even more of a reason to subscribe today to the Love Wrestling Patreon. We have exclusive interviews. We have old archived interviews. We've got prediction. We got all sorts of stuff. Who knows? Maybe Spencer will let us record. We got to figure out who won our little bet for Double or Nothing and record that watch along. Maybe that'll be a Patreon exclusive.
We could throw that up on the Patreon. Maybe
we'll talk to the boss.
Yeah, we'll tally the votes, because I think that I did not win, but we will tally the votes, and we'll pick something for everyone. That was
watch WCW Sold Out, not the first one, the second one. Okay. Woof.
We'll have some fun with it.
Blair and Pluggo's Patreon exclusive watch-alongs. There you go. Yep. Coming soon. We'll see. Speaking of which, I'm being incredibly nice to Spencer today, because guess what? He kept me employed after what we pulled on Thursday. So why don't we go ahead and pay some bills really quick? I got to pull it up. Where is...
Do you want me to find the video?
I've got it right here. BetStamp, our new sponsorship. BetStamp is just like the Hotels.com or the Trivago of the betting world. If you are a gambler and you're looking for the best place to place your bets, BetStamp users on average win an extra $1,000 per year on betting. What they do, it's very simple. This Sunday night, there's a Heat Nuggets game, NBA Finals. All you got to do, and I got to push it again because I screwed it up. All you got to do is, you want to bet on that game, you go to BetStamp, you put in the referral code Love Wrestling. It's free. It gets you started, and it'll basically list every sports book in your area and rank them in terms of who's got the best betting odds on the Heat game, or who's got the best player props with the Nuggets. Is Jokic going to get a triple-double? Do you want to do that? Oh, my God, I can't keep this up. Would you want to use that? Would you want to use MGM? Do you want to use DraftKings? You want to use Sports? They rank them for you. It's a very easy interface to use. You go to there, tell them we send you. Love Pro Wrestling. It's a beautiful sponsorship. Love Pro Wrestling. It's Love Wrestling. It's right there on the screen. Enter the referral code. Get started today. Start winning money with BetStamp. Go to betstamp.com. You won't regret it. I've used it for the first time, and I won pretty sizable amount of money. It's awesome. It's wonderful. Have you used it, Blair? It's beautiful. I bet you bet on hockey up there in the old state.
I bet on some hockey, and then I don't tell JPJ, but I also bet against the Celtics, because the Heat were just on fire. So, I mean, I won a few bucks.
So, yeah, go to betstamp.com. Tell them that we sent you. We'll get you hooked up. It's free. It's free. You don't have a reason not to. No. So, yeah, if you're already betting, you're already gambling, it's free. Go over there. They'll help you decide where to place your money so that you get the maximum payout. It's a beautiful thing. I'm like the flow of BetStamp.
He really is. Now, all right. Today you're going to the Black Label Pro Show.
I am.
Fancy wrestling too.
I couldn't help myself. I had to do it.
I don't blame you because I mean, looking at the card, I mean, there are some fun matchups on here. So I mean, we'll run through the card, but what is the one that Pluggo is looking forward to most on here?
Full disclosure. The reason I
Mhm.
bought the ticket is because I want to see Speedball Mike Bailey live and in person, and I regret
Yes.
not doing it the last time he was
I'm wearing a Speedball
around.
shirt.
Yeah, that's a smart man. So yeah, I want to see Speedball Mike Bailey because I just think he's fantastic. He's an awesome in-ring competitor, and he's going up against Kevin Koo, which is even better.
Mhm.
That was my initial like, all right, I'll make this drive on a Saturday afternoon over to it's probably with the time difference, probably closer to a 2-hour drive, but you know, it is what it is. It'll be fun. I've never been to a Black Label Pro show before, but I do watch them quite often on Fight, and they do a good job. So that, and then Billy Starks is going to be there. She's wrestling Cole Radrick for the Black Label Pro Heavyweight Championship. That's going to be cool. I'd love to see Billy Starks wrestle in person. Friend of Between Two Beards, Billy Starks, that is. You go check that interview out. We talked about ice cream.
I do like ice cream. So.
That's right. You come over to the Beards. We don't talk about wrestling. But no, this is the card. We'll go down the list of cards. But that was the two that really stood out to me. And then of course Calvin Tankman. I love me some Calvin Tankman. He's gonna be there. They just announced Frank the Clown, Levi Everett, and Big Al Crawley, because she's gonna be there. So that'll be cool. Alice Crawley. That'll be fun. Big Al. Frank the Clown's kind of annoying. Last time I interacted with Frank the Clown, he was very mean to me, even though I was nice to him.
He was the first person to ever like give me a chop in wrestling.
Oh, Frank the Clown?
He whiffed on the first one and then did the second one. And
interesting.
Then I kind of laughed it off. And then one of the guys who was on Dark that earlier that night decided to give me a chop and left a massive handprint on my chest.
If somebody wants to chop me at Black Label Pro, I'll let it happen. That's fine.
Yeah. First
somebody clip that, send that out to Black Label Pro. I'll let's see. We had I missed this at Fightful reported April that Tony Schiavone publicly. Yeah, he did say that, but she never got like the graphic. They didn't make a big spectacle of it. Like, so it's been a signing that has been talked about, but not really like blown up like it should. And then Lawrence said, say hi to Speedball for me. That's my goal. I would love to just meet Speedball and shake my fellow Canadian brother's hand and tell him thank you for being awesome. So if we could facilitate that, that's all I need. That's all I want.
Speedball and Koo, I saw them face off at a Time Bomb Pro show in Fargo, North Dakota. And those two were just phenomenal in the ring. If I can find the video, I'll throw it up on Twitter later today, or at least a link to the video. It's up on YouTube. But if you go in there and search it, you'd be able to find it. If you can't make it to the Black Label Pro show today, or if you don't have Fight, go check it out because it's a lot of fun. So
Fight Plus is only, I think it's like $4.99 a month, something like that.
That's cheap.
Maybe. And I got it, and I was like, Speedball is so nice on his Twitch. Yes, he is. Speedball has an awesome Twitch. He was back. Uncle Speedy was back this week on Twitch, doing his damn thing, killing it. So yeah, Speedball just all around super nice guy. From the minor interactions I've ever had with him, Lawrence would know full well because Lawrence has taken some chops and some kicks and some stunners over at the old Speedball Mike Bailey wrestling shows that they do on Twitch. That's fun. I mean, Shane Hawk lit him up a couple weeks ago. Poor Lawrence, but he's still got the legal mind. So, Fight Plus raised the price. Did they? I don't know I wonder if they raised it for me. If you bought it for $4.99, do you get to stay grandfathered in? Because I'd have to check that because I was paying $4.99. But even as long as it doesn't end up being like $15 a month, it's probably worth it. 10 is probably still worth it. For me to make it $7.99, baby saying, that's still good enough for me. I would pay that. And you get, like I said, you get the Black Label Pros, you get the GCW, you get, MLW is coming to Fight Plus. I believe that started last week, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another feather in the cap. Get to enjoy my guy, Alex Kane. So who
he tweeted out is taking indie bookings as well. I saw the other day.
Good for him.
I mean,
hopefully You want to talk about a nice guy in the independent wrestling scene, Alex Cade, man. I met him down. He came to my neck of the woods last year and just couldn't have been nicer. He's been on Beards. He's a wonderful dude. Anyway, let's talk about these shows because we are just chit-chatting away. We're already halfway through.
Well, I'll start running down the card of the Black Label Pro show, and you stop me when there's a little one that you want to, a little ditty, because we got Speedball and Kevin Koo, which we talked about.
Bryce, good morning and good weekend. What's good with you, my friend? Just talking some independent wrestling this fine morning. Of course, Speedball Kevin Koo. If I had to pick, I would think Speedball gets it done, but that match is just gonna hurt. Yeah, I hope to meet Speedball at any iteration of the show, but if hopefully it's before, because Kevin's no slouch either, man. Violence is forever. Oof, fun times. So yeah, if we're picking Blair, I'll take Speedball.
Yeah, I could see Speedball getting the dub in this one. We got Filthy Tom Lawler facing off with Infinite Eli Isom, and I mean, I love Tom Lawler. I did not to stray too far off, but I did a prediction show for Forbidden Door 2, and I put Tom Lawler on my show because that's how much I love Tom Lawler.
But he was on the prediction show?
I wish he was on the prediction show, but
you put him on as like
I put him on. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, you sent Filthy Tom in those short shorts. Every time you watch a Tom Lawler match live, the shorts get shorter. That's all I'm saying. He
inspires me to wear shorter shorts. Skies out.
I don't have the body for that.
Neither do I. I'm just skies out, thighs out. This match, I'm fully expecting Eli Isom to win because to me, I feel like Tom is like he's out there doing these matches and he's just having fun. Like it's not like it's a huge. I got to get the win, brother. It's like he's out there, he's putting over wrestlers. So I'm thinking Eli's getting the dub.
Yeah, he's already established. It's kind of like he doesn't, because I've seen Tom Lawler take some else in the independent scene, and he's just going to be just fine. So there you go. That's a good pull. I can't say I disagree. I have so much, and we got Spencer say he's got so much time for Eli Isom. I'm very excited. This is why I'm very excited to get a chance to see Eli Isom live in person. I said last week when we kind of touched on this show, I don't know a ton about him, but I have seen some stuff, but I'm excited to get to see him live in person. Because a lot of times you see somebody live in person and then it's like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
So much yes. So
yeah,
I'm excited for that.
I saw Heather Reckless last month, not to stray too far off, and like her and Jody Threat had a match, and instant fan of Heather Reckless after that. Bryce can vouch for, how much of a fan I was because he was at the show too. So I mean,
nice.
Now this one, I think you have, this one is a little bit closer for you. I mean, with interest, because we have Brogan Finley facing off against Rico Gonzalez and Hunter Drake. And you had the chance to talk to Hunter Drake, right?
I did. Yeah. On my get to know pieces for the website here at Love Wrestling. I do it all. I write, I talk. No. Hunter Drake is one of those guys that I discovered. He did, I think it was the end of April loop of the GCW shows when they were in Atlanta, and he was in a scramble match, and I just kind of was like, that guy, like he just stood out to me in that match, and I was like, I want to get to know more about him, so I wrote about him. So you can check that out on the website. He does a lot. He's a New South guy. He does a lot in the South, more southern states. So I'm interested to see this matchup because Brogan Finley's also very good. I don't know much about the third guy in the match, but so again, hopefully, I think the three will steal the show. I think it's going to be bigger. It was announced a little bit later on in their match announcement, so I wonder if they kind of threw this together. It feels very like, let's open up the show hot with this match. That's how I feel about it. So
sometimes those triple threat matches where you might not know tons about everyone involved, those are the ones that really step up to the plate where it comes to like in-ring action, captivating the audience, captivating the audience, just being able to get those eyes locked on, set the tone for the show. So that should be a lot of fun. You mentioned Frank the Clown. They got an open challenge. So it's Frank the Clown. He's leading the team of Levi Everett, Alice Crowley, and the Natter Day Saints. So
who's open challenge? So that's 4 people.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be an 8-person tag.
I wonder. Okay, so I don't know. Admittedly, I don't know on the Black Label Pro circuit. This is Fancy Wrestling too. I don't know if this is their like WrestleMania. I don't want to misquote, and say like this is their biggest show of the year, so they're going to throw out all the stops and have some just insane people show up. I don't know. It could be one of those things where they, these four with Frank the Clown just face off against some independent talent from around the area. Which I'm okay with too. I don't know what to expect. I do know that Frank the Clown is incredibly long-winded, as I've been to multiple Warrior Wrestling shows where I'm just like, all right, man, we get it. We get it, bro. Like, no, but Frank the Clown is cool. That gimmick is fun. He gets so much heat. So we'll see what he does. I'm interested.
Look, he made something out of it for himself. He put in the work. And I mean, lots of people will talk about getting involved with wrestling or doing something, but he was someone who created the character, went to shows, got himself over. So, I mean, hey, if you can do this and you love it, go for it.
But if he chops my boy Blair ever again, well, I don't know. I'm not much of a wrestler.
I'll dish out a back body drop.
I've already got enough enemies in the wrestling world. I don't need any more.
Black Label Pro Tag Team Championship, Miracle Generation facing off with the Bang Bros. Now, I know the Bang Bros have been everywhere as of late. They're really making a name for themselves on independent wrestling. Miracle Generation, I haven't heard too much about, but I'm interested in this match just to see what both these teams are going to bring to the table.
That's to say, I'm not going to add too much more to that. That's about where I'm at too. I love me the Bang Bros. They're fun. They're exciting. They're awesome. They're good people on top of it. They're super nice guys as well. So I think this match will be fun. I don't know if you put the titles on them. Maybe you do. Maybe this is Miracle Generation losing the belts and we get a run for the Bang Bros and Black Label Pro.
Yeah, could be.
We'll see. It's going to be a good match though. The Bang Bros are high energy all the time.
Mm-hmm. And I like the high energy, fast paced wrestling. So it's my jam.
There's a lot on this card. As you keep going down it, as I keep looking at them, like there's a lot going on here.
We got Calvin Tankman facing off with I may pronounce the name wrong, Mayung Jae Lee. So I mean, they are both Calvin Tankman is the only two-time Black Label Pro champion. So this is a huge challenge for Mayung Jae Lee. So I'm interested in this one.
I never pick against Calvin Tankman ever.
No.
In any situation, unless he wrestles Alex Kane.
I was just going to say, unless it's against Alex Kane.
Which I told Tankman that at Warrior. I ran into him. I said, hey, I love your stuff. All that stuff you did with Alex Kane and MLW was awesome. And Alex Kane is my guy. And he was like, yeah, he was being nice. He's like, Alex is a good dude. No, I think they're a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun with that. Cause he's like, no, Alex is a really good dude. But he gave me a look when I was like, that was my dude. But no, he's cool. So yeah, I think that'll be a quick one. I can't imagine they'll go super duper long, but maybe they will. I don't know. Yeah. I fully expect to move out of the way. Calvin Tankman independent matches have a tendency to leave the ring at times. And so I'll be moving. If you see me on Fight TV going like this, like please screenshot it, send it to me.
That's what I'm going to be watching for.
It's me.
Never mind the action in the ring.
I will disclaimer this. It is called Fancy Wrestling too. They said to dress in your best attire, but I got to be completely honest with you. It is like 90 degrees over here. So I don't think I'm going to be dressing out, showing out for Fancy Wrestling because
maybe a tuxedo hoodie, instead of tuxedo shirt, a tuxedo hoodie.
That would be cool. If I could find one, I would rock that. But it is going to be incredibly hot where they're at. So I might have to dress up for the situation, not the occasion.
So look, you see, me and Spencer are on the same page. Like tuxedo shirts. There we go.
If I need to, I do need to find one. I do need to find a tuxedo t-shirt. Honestly, I don't know why I don't have one. I would be the guy that has one. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll throw a bow tie on. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I pull off. But it's a hot one over here in the Midwest this week. But let's keep going. Wear a three-piece suit and pass out in the crowd. I did think as an honorary Canadian, I go Canadian tuxedo, but I don't have enough jean material to
just run through. We got Latinos.
Lawrence tunes in tonight to Black Label Pro to see me in the crowd, and I'm just like this. Phone, just is he having a seizure? Why is he in a full-blown tuxedo and top hat?
They said to dress fancy, so he's dressing fancy. What do you want?
Man, it's a hot one. Yeah, Rob Thomas.
Pluggo.
Shout out Rob Thomas. Overjoyed is the song that Mrs. Pluggo and I danced to at our wedding.
Rob Thomas is
Ned.
smooth.
You want me representing Love Wrestling at Black Label Pro, just sweating profusely, just like, hey, Calvin Tankman, I work for this place called Love. We can't afford water.
They made me wear a 3-piece suit.
They made me dress like this. Come be on one of our shows, and then I just faint.
We don't want that. What we want is for you to enjoy Latino's Most Wanted versus Twist and Flip. That's what we want.
And I will enjoy that because I said this last week. I'll say it again. Twist and Flip are students under Isaiah Moore, who is a independent wrestler from literally my area. Like he wrestles all the shows here. Those guys have really grown on me. They've made some serious strides. I think this will be because Isaiah was supposed to be on this show. So I wonder if they worked something out where they got Twist and Flip to be here, but Isaiah's injured right now. So that's cool. Like I can't wait to see what they do. What's wrong? Tag team wrestling is fully alive and well.
After that, we've got
Laura said that happened to my brother at his confirmation. My mom dressed him in a wool suit. Yeah, exactly. Like, and I don't know if people know this or not about old Pluggo here, but I'm a bigger dude. I'm a husky fella. I got some weight to me. Mrs. Pluggo, love ya. She can attest. I'm a big dude, and if I'm dressed in a 3-piece suit in 90-degree weather in a high school gymnasium, it's a nice place. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking, but it's gonna be hot. So I might have to be like fancy adjacent. I might have to like have some fancy elements to what I'm wearing, but not quite full blown fancy.
You're going to be there wearing a hoodie, a backwards hat, and a monocle.
Yeah, like I might just show up monocled out, and they'll be like, "That dude is the fanciest guy here," right?
He's wearing 2 monocles, double monocle.
It's not just called glasses.
What's the? I need to know the equivalent. I'm going to Google it afterwards of what 90 degrees is in Celsius to see how.
Oh, that's right. You know, if Spencer has like a math problem, like you subtract 30 or add 30 and then times it by 2. I don't know.
So, this is one I'm looking forward to. Rachel Armstrong taking off with Mayu Yamashita.
Yeah, she was the big draw to this. Mayu was the first announced for the show. She's on the post. That's gonna be fun, man. I think you get Mayu Yamashita. I think she's doing a little bit of a run here on that independent scene. I think I've seen her book some other places as well. I'm excited. Give me that. Give me Mayu winning this thing, of course.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm hoping someone, whether Winnipeg or in Western Canada, brings her in. I think she was out in BC, if I'm not mistaken, for NEW out there, but I would love to be able to see her in person. I think she's incredible. So, I mean, that'll be a good one. And my Fahrenheit to Celsius calculator says 90 degrees is about 32. So we're on par. We're on par.
32 degrees Fahrenheit is freezing here.
32 degrees Celsius is the same as 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
So at showtime, it'll be 90 degrees with a little chance of rain. So maybe it won't be too hot.
Yeah. Mance Warner and Steph DeLander. After watching Steph DeLander wrestle on that GCW show last week, I'm here for Steph DeLander. I am a fan.
Yeah,
I questioned you before of like why I should be into Steph DeLander.
And I told you, honestly, I wasn't sure either because it just seemed like she was Matt Cardona's heavy. But she's growing on me every week that I watch her. I'm super excited to get to sit there and kind of like see her. Because again, you get a different feel like when it's in person and you're there in the vibe, because you're not distracted by the commentary, which I'm not saying commentary is distracting or anything, but you're just there in the moment. So perfect temp for me. she'll wear a 3-piece suit. Yeah, Mrs. Pluggo is the type that in July she'll have a winter coat on if she's just weird like that, you know. But that's why I love her, because she's weird. But yeah, so she can rock the 3-piece suit if she wants to go. She can come with me. We can make the trip. Take the little one with us. Get him some deathmatch wrestling with Steph DeLander, deathmatch queen. So yeah.
Bebe saying, how did the Matt and Steph team up happen? Are you familiar with that?
I admittedly don't know how it happened. I don't quite remember the genesis of it. For those that, you know, who stuck with us for, you know, I don't watch every stitch of independent wrestling I possibly can. I have to go back and look. I don't remember why, but I'm assuming it was just a new element, right? Like you get the former NXT wrestler who's been in the system. You're the indie god. You're the anti-independent wrestler guy. You know what I mean? And then like, I don't want to say this in a negative sense, but it's the like Triple H when he had Chyna, you know, the female muscle, like, you know, it's kind of like this pretentious thing, you know. He's like, look at this, I got this female muscle, she'll kick your ass, like, you know, and nobody can kick her ass type deal. So it's kind of cool. I love it. I think it's a cool pairing. I think they've done a lot of cool things. I mean, who knows? Maybe Matt Cardona shows up today.
Never know. The like with, because
that would be cool, but I don't.
They aligned themselves right after Chelsea went back to WWE, if I'm not mistaken. So that could have something to do with it. I think it was on a GCW show, but I myself am not certain. So if anyone finds out, let us know.
Yeah, we're not opposed to you telling us we're wrong.
No,
but yeah, Bryce saying Steph DeLander, alumni to NXT. Yeah. No, absolutely. So I think that's all part of why they made the move, and she's talented. She's growing. Like I said, I'm pretty excited for this. So. Well, we got to keep on pushing because we got 2 other shows to talk about.
Yeah,
I'm long-winded today.
Last match with Black Label Pro, we got Trevor Outlaw versus Matt Brannigan. So that'll be a good
Listen,
one.
Trevor Outlaw, if you're mean to me like you were at Warrior, I might say something slick. No, I'm just kidding.
Call him out.
I'm calling you out, Trevor. You were mean to me. It was the Frank the Frank the Clown grew. Like I took a picture and he was just incredibly mean to me. He was just like picking on me. And I was like, I was rooting for you guys. So be nice, Trevor. You'll get further in life. But no, that should be fun. But I'll take Trevor, I guess.
So, okay, that's the Black Label Pro show. You're going to be there. I'm excited to hear about a recap next week about everything going on.
I think I'm just super long-winded this week because last week the internet crashed and I was out for like 20 minutes of the show.
It was just my face front and center rambling on about Jordan
It's
Oliver.
It's that scene in Wayne's where it's like, I'm having a good time. Not. I think his head's gonna explode.
That's exactly what it was. I was just like, I have no idea. Oh no.
No,
okay, that's Black Label Pro. You're going to be coming next week. You're going to let us know about everything. Run down the.
I'll be live tweeting it too. So, I'll be covering it, live tweeting it on the old socials. So you'll see my face. Who knows? Maybe we'll get weird. Maybe who knows? I don't know.
So there's that. An hour after that starts, or I mean, it could be before that because time zones. But GCW's Tournament of Survival.
What time does it start for you?
Well, the ad says 5 p.m., so I don't know if that's Eastern.
Where are they
Atlantic. They're Atlantic City. They're balling.
That's 5 p.m. would be Eastern time, so yeah.
So
an early show for them too.
I'll be going back and forth between that and the Black Label Pro show.
I thought that they were going to go after the Black Label Pro show, and that was kind of why the Black Label Pro show was so early. But hey, I must have misread that, but no, here we got the Tournament of Survival. This will be fun.
So, admittedly, deathmatch wrestling, I mentioned this before, not my forte. I'm slowly getting more into it, but if you were to talk to me about who won Tournament of Survival 5, I would look at you like you asked me the square root of 62. So I have no idea. But we're going to take a look at this card. And I mean, It's a solid 12 pack on there. They've divvied it up into 4 triple threat matches, and then the winners of those advance, if I'm not mistaken. I know you sent me a graphic.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now because like I said last week, I was completely unprepared. This week, I am more prepared than ever because you know what? You deserve that, Blair. You deserve my preparedness. Not running away for 20 minutes. I was just getting coffee. That's what it was. No, so the death match tournament of survival bracket is there are 4 brackets, 4 pods, 3 triple threats. The winners of the triple threats move on.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got in one pod Segura, I don't want to say Heretia, and Janela. I don't want to, if I'm butchering those names, I apologize. And then so for that pod, you got these are all triple threats. And you got Extremo, Cyclope, and Green Phantom, our boy Green Phantom. We stand for Green Phantom here at Love Wrestling. And if Zach did not pay me to say that, but no, we do. We truly love the Green Phantom here. And then we've got on another pod on the opposite side, Yamashita, Sawyer Wreck, and Casey Kirk, formerly Casey Cattell, for those that maybe are unfamiliar. And then you got Desperado, John Wayne Murdoch, I almost said Trevor Murdoch. We were talking NWA earlier, and Matt Tremont, who is like the godfather of deathmatch wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so again, with that, the one side, I don't like, my favorite grouping is the Sawyer Wreck, Rina Yamashita, and Casey Kirk pod. I wish they would have split them up because I want all of them to win.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them in separate ones just to have more of a chance of them advancing.
And then we got Bebe saying that there was a great interview with Matt and Step on Wrestling YouTube show. So we'll have to check that out. Oh, Wrestling, the Barstool wrestling show with Brandon Walker, right? So yeah, that maybe they explained it there. So that definitely be worth checking out so that I can stop trying to go, why did he pick Steph DeLander of all people? But it seems to be working.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so again, the 4 pods, there's 12 competitors, and then it comes down to a 4-way. If I'm not mistaken, they do all of this tonight.
Yes, it's one night.
It's similar to the CCW, like Tournament of Death. It's all in one day. So you'll have these killer matches, then you'll have another killer match, then you'll have a final. Like, yuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that sounds painful. Yes, Barstool, perfect. That's what I thought. If wrestling, if you're watching, Brandon Walker, hi. You know, I like what you do. But yeah, anybody stand out to you that you would like just looking at the bracket go, that's your winner?
You know what? I'm excited. Well, one, the Green Phantom being in there. I'm huge on that. That's nice. And Desperado. I'm kind of hyped on him being in this because I know he had a match last year for one of the smaller promotions in Japan, and it was a bloody war, and it was one of the top matches. People loved it, but it wasn't huge out there. You couldn't find it on a lot of streaming services, but the hype that it got was phenomenal. So I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do in a tournament setting like this. I mean, his bracket is going to be tough, or his pod is going to be tough, but I mean, he's solid. Him in a new environment like this, I mean, I'm excited just for what the possibilities that can come with this.
That pod to me looks like the most brutal of the, because it's just like, you know, Tremont and John Wayne Murdoch are absolute masters of their craft in deathmatch wrestling. So like, whew, it's gonna get gross. My question, okay, and again, I will full disclosure, and we've talked about it off air. I don't mind putting it out there in the streets. I am not the most like aficionado when it comes to the death. I enjoy good deathmatch wrestling. Don't get me wrong, but like it's not something that like I like dive fully into all the time. But if there's a good match, I'll watch it. So like my question is, so you gotta to move on. You gotta up. Like, what do you do in the finals here? Like, you're gonna pull out all the stops. Are there like special like? This is a glass pane match, or or is it just whatever goes? Like, I'm interested to sit down and watch this fully because admittedly in the past, you know, I would just kind of like pick out like that Sawyer Wreck pod. I
Yeah.
would watch that and be like, that's cool. And then maybe watch the final. I'm interested to see a whole tournament because I've admittedly never watched a full tournament of Survival, but I'm going to now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I know it before for different tournaments they've had things like that where this match is a a window pane match, this is a light tube match, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe they're going with the same sort of vibe for this one, but if they are, I don't know.
well, we'll see.
It'll be good to watch.
Okay, so final four predictions.
Final four. Okay, I'm taking Despy.
Okay.
I'm going to say Green Phantom.
Okay.
I'm going to say Toru Segura.
Okay.
And then I'm going to going with Sawyer Wreck.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you all see, he said, sorry to sidetrack, did you all see Lita showed up at Hood Slam last night? No, I did not. I'll circle back, and last night was an interesting one for I did a lot of just, you know what? I hung out with the little one yesterday for a good chunk of the night. We just kind of slummed it around, and admittedly the wrestling kind of put on the back burner a little bit. So I woke up this morning and played some catch up. I'll definitely check that out because I wonder what she's doing there. Isn't she busy? Doesn't she need to come back and help save Becky?
Apparently not. I missed it last night. I'll be checking that out today because I was watching Ted Lasso and crying. So I mean, that was my Friday night.
You know what I watched last night? We Are the Millers for the first time. Speaking of Ted Lasso, I've never seen it.
I enjoy that one.
That was an interesting movie. I watched that late.
Yeah, not with the little one.
All right, so you got Segura, Phantom, Sawyer Wreck, and Desperado.
Yes,
it's your final four.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Yamashita because she's your ultraviolet women's champion. Just to be different from you, I'm going to do that. I'll take Murdoch. I like John Wayne Murdoch a lot. Like, that dude is not afraid of anything. So I think he pulls it out. And of course, I'm taking Phantom as well. But I'll take Janela. I think Janela is going to have a run here.
Yeah.
I could see him making the finals and sneaking one out against our boy Green Phantom, which I'm not going to be okay with because it's Team Green Phantom or bust. And then I would have, I think Yamashita Janela would be a really fun final. I do know from just like looking at this bracket in the previous iterations, like they tend to throw somebody out there that because I'm not super well versed in deathmatch, would be like, oh, it's Janela Yamashita. That makes sense to me. And then they'll throw you the Green Phantom versus Desperado, right? So it could go any which way, but if I was about Yamashita Janela, maybe Yamashita puts her ultraviolet title on the line and you give it maybe we'll see.
I mean, if we're going to go down to finals, then I'll take with the four I have, I'm saying Segura and Sawyer Wreck in the finals.
Ooh, and I'm okay with that. I love Sawyer Wreck. Huge fan. This is one of those people that I turned on some GCW and she was wrestling and she was fantastic. And I was like, I have to know more. I want to watch more of her. Huge fan of hers. That was one where it's like, if I pick with my heart here, of course I take Sawyer Wreck, but I think Yamashita's going to have herself a tournament.
So last but not least for this week, we've got the Defy show. Your Nightmare. Now, Defy usually throws their shows up a few days after they air, but for all intents and purposes, they are absolutely phenomenal. So, I mean, this one, the main event is Kenta challenging Nick Wayne for the Defy World title. And I mean, Kenta is not someone who does lots of indie shows, so having him on your show is a bit of a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big get. Is this the time that Nick Wayne drops that title? Because there's heavy rumors of him as soon as he's eligible. He's going to AEW it's like this summer.
Yeah,
there's already discussions of him being in the Orange Cassidy International title scene picture, because he turns 18 in July.
From what I gather, his first show is July 12th in Saskatoon.
Yeah.
That's a Dynamite. That's what I gather. Things could change, obviously, but I think that's what was kind of put out there beforehand. Like when they said they were bringing him in after he turns 18, that was the first show.
because I would, and I don't know. I'm not an insider. I don't have the scoops. I'm not, friend of the show, Sean Ross Sapp. He's got all your scoops.
Gonna get us in trouble.
I am sorry. You know what
we
you
just started
up.
the show.
You know what you signed up for. I don't hold no punches. Friend of the show, Sean Ross Sapp. But if I'm Tony Khan and you've got Nick Wayne and you signed him, do you let him? I mean, I know that AEW has a tendency to let talent do independent stuff, keep bookings, keep their titles and things, but I just feel like you're putting a lot on him. If you have a heavy invested future in Nick Wayne, does he drop a few of these belts? Because he's GCW tag title champs, he's Defy world champ, and then you get him in the AEW picture. Do you let him go? I don't know. I'm interested to see how his run in the indies go leading up to his AEW debut, because you do see that sometimes where they tend to have drop a few belts and lighten the load a little bit to ease that commitment of AEW. Yeah. But it's going to be a banger. It's going to be awesome. Nick Wayne is phenomenal. Hold the belts, bro. Hold the belts. I don't care. Let's see. Unrelated, but we should get a Puff on brunch to talk Ted Lasso with us, Blair. We bonded over. Yeah, do that. Blair, if Puff is not available for brunch, have him come over here. You show up. We'll do a foursome. I'm behind on Ted Lasso. I saw the first season, pretty solid. I need to catch up and finish it, but I heard it's really good. I would binge watch. I've binge watched Ted Lasso to talk Ted Lasso with you boys.
My thought last night before putting it on was, if I don't watch it, then the show never ends. But ultimately, I had to watch it. So
I'm just a TV watcher. I watch a lot of things after the fact. I don't watch very many things like live. Like I have to catch it the week it comes out type deal. I'll binge watch it. No spoilers. Nope, we're not going to give you spoilers here because I don't even know what happened. Because, like I said, I'm still in season 1.
Yeah, we're no spoilers. None. We're good. Don't worry. But it was very emotional for Blair. I will not lie. It was talking Ted Lasso. So the rest of Defy. Now, if you're not familiar with Defy, I mean, you get some of the best wrestlers in the Pacific Northwest. You're getting ones from the Seattle area. You're getting some from BC. You're getting ones from Alberta. I mean, Michael Richard Blaze has wrestled there. Terrence from Accounting. And on this card, there are some who have also been a part of the LPW shows before and ones going forward. So you've got Christopher Daniels facing off with Artemis Spencer. I mean, Artemis Spencer, since, being able to head back into the States, has just been lighting it up as of late. Some incredible matches. So that one I'm pretty hyped on.
LPW alum Artemis Spencer.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got that one. You got Nicole Matthews, another LPW alum, facing off with Allie Catch. I'm a big Allie Catch fan. Big Nicole Matthews fan. That's going to be a hell of a fun match.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that next week. It's probably one of our matches of the week.
Yeah, so
because we didn't do matches of the week this week because Blair was out camping, Blair Grills, and I was doing the dad duties with the birthdays, so we didn't watch as much. We wanted to cover the big show. Next week we'll get back to matches of the week and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so there's that one. You've got Galeno Del Mal versus Delta Jr., 2 luchadors I'm not too familiar with, but I like my flippy stuff.
No, I'm telling you, like I go to some of these independent shows, and if they throw on a luchador match and I don't know who they are, 9 times out of 10 I leave going, that was awesome. I want to know more. So that sounds like a fun time.
Defy Women's Champion Defy Women's Champion Vert Vixen facing off with Shazza McKenzie. The same Shazza McKenzie who's going to be at LPW 16 June 30th.
The same Shazza McKenzie that Spencer told Sean Ross Sapp he would not book, and then went ahead and booked her anyway. And he came on and yelled at Spencer. Not even yelled. He was just disappointed. It was like that time when your parents go, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. But no, Shazza McKenzie, if we're going to be completely honest, unbiased journalist here at For Exposure, she's a phenomenal talent. I'm excited that she's over here. He said, I may have lied, which, you know what, Spencer, you're a lot of things, but a liar. I was not. I didn't think was one. But you know, it was a good lie because. And then he said, "But the juice is worth the squeeze, so to speak." Yes, and I was just going to say that Shaz McKenzie is a fantastic wrestler. That'll be a lot of fun. She's making her rounds over here in the state in the North American realm. So yeah, she'll be here June 30th.
Yeah.
So I think you should lariat. She'll be facing Gigi Ray, the money team, which I'm excited for that because Gigi Ray is phenomenal too. So I'll give it to Spencer. He may book people that his friends told him not to, but he books hell of a good match. So
yeah, he does.
Good for him. He's a good promoter. I like that Spencer, the promoter guy.
He's a good guy. Good guy. So the I'll say the match I am most looking forward to besides Nick Wayne and Kenta is you've got Rocky Romero and C4, Cody Chun and Guillermo Rosas facing off against Sinner and Saint. Sinner and Saint consisting of Evan Rivers, Judas Icarus, and Travis Williams. I have all the time in the world for Sinner and Saint. They are three of the best wrestlers in independent wrestling out of Canada, and it's only a matter of time before everyone else recognizes just how incredible those three are. I said it.
You said it well. I'm excited. I will admit I don't know much about Sinner and Saint, so I will let you. I will defer. I will defy to defer to you on that one, and I will check it out, and we'll see what I think next week.
Yeah. So that's what I got for Defy. I mean,
but that's what I like about it. Again, that's what I said. I don't know it all, but I'm excited to learn, and you can convince me to watch anybody's match at least once. So
there you go.
I'm excited. But is it Christopher Daniels on this card as well? Did I see that, or have I not?
Yeah, against Artemis Spencer.
We talked. Yeah. Wow. I don't know why I didn't think we talked about that, but when we mentioned Artemis Spencer, I went on you guys started talking Ted Lasso but yeah, that's gonna be awesome. And Travis Williams is awesome. Golden boy, Travis Williams, absolute goat.
Spencer's going to bring Judas Icarus one day. We know it. It's going to be phenomenal.
I mean, I know Spencer. He'll book them all. He's gonna book everybody under the sun and get that. I mean, we'll be sitting here, in 10 years talking about our weekly Love Pro Wrestling show that's on, Fight TV, or wherever it may be, because that's just the trajectory we're on.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Maybe by then he'll have him and Sean Ross Sapp will have buried the hatchet, so to speak, and moved on.
Still going with that, eh?
Hey, it just happened like 2 days ago. It just happened.
You're going to get us in trouble. Or do you feel like we're on the chopping block?
Maybe. No, we're not. Because see, what I did was I hitched my star to your amazing wagon. And Spencer would never fire you. So I'm safe by proxy because I know Blair, my best friend, would go into the office and say, I need Pluggo or the show doesn't function.
Look, we saw last week that I need Pluggo,
so that's how I stick around.
That's smart. So that was good. That's good.
I'm not talented at all, Blair. I just show up places and Spencer goes, well, I guess. Oh, Laura says later, boys, he's off to see Spider-Man. Enjoy that. Is there a new Spider-Man out? Must be.
Yes, new animated Spider-Man.
Oh, interesting. But this weekend's going to be packed, and that's just Saturday. I don't admittedly know if there's much going on Sunday. I know GCW has a tendency to double up, so there's probably a Sunday show as well.
I would think so, especially if they're doing a deathmatch show one day, do a second show the next day with, more family friendly.
But if I can ever stop being lame and just create that Twitter account that I told you we were going to create, we could put everything there, and you could just stay tuned on our social media page, which I should do that today.
We'll get there.
I'll get there. I'm okay. Sometimes I forget things. I was like, oh yeah, I meant to do that, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this was fun. Lots going on today, so definitely check it out.
Yeah, and stay tuned to all of Love Wrestling social medias as a whole at Love Wrestling CA, because Spencer's dropping matches left and right for Love Pro Wrestling 16. I think you should lariat. He
Mhm.
just dropped the Clandestine Society versus 7. Mars the
Mhm.
Specialist is fully in and fully convinced now. So that should be a lot of fun. Like we just talked, Shazam McKenzie, Gigi Ray. I don't know if he's T.Y. Jackson did win the #1 contendership to Zoe Sager's LPW Grand Champion. So I'm assuming that match will be soon. I don't know if it's going to be at 16 or not. Has he announced it? Has he booked it? He might have. You have to stay tuned to our socials and find out. I don't know. I try not to pay too much attention to T.Y. Jackson, contrary to popular belief. No, I can't get away from T.Y. Jackson. But anyway, I digress. That's another topic for another day.
Mm-hmm. So now, Pluggo, for those watching, those listening, where can they find you up on social media?
On social media, you can find me at Pluggo _ on Twitter, at Pluggo Loves Wrestling on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. You can find me, like I said earlier, today in Crown Point for Black Label Pro. I'll be just hanging out, watching some good wrestling. So if you're in the area, just come say hi. You could find, like we talked earlier again, Hunter Drake, Get to Know, just dropped on lovewrestling.ca on the website. Check that out. That's fun. I like to highlight independent wrestlers, so you get to know more about them, and I get to know more about them. It's a win-win for everybody. You can also find me at B2 Beards on all social media for all your Between Two Beards updates every Thursday night. Flagship be killing it. JPJ and I, as long as we're not fired, we'll be there Thursday night.
Perfect. Myself, you can find me up at Grainmaker Pod on Twitter, Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast on all the other social medias. And don't forget to follow Love Wrestling, all their social medias, YouTube, Twitch, all that fun stuff. The LPW shows up on Twitch, June 30th. Don't forget to miss that. Don't forget to watch that. Don't miss out. Don't miss out.
Yeah, don't miss it.
Get fired.
Don't miss it. It's a good time. So, we'll be talking about Love Pro Wrestling in more detail coming up in a week or two. As more matches get announced as we get closer to that card.
Yeah, we'll be covering them. We'll be hyping them up, and we'll see. Maybe we can, convince someone to wake up early and join us on here to chat about one. Who knows? No promises. Who knows?
Maybe we'll pull some strings. But thank you, Bryce. But Bebe saying bye. Bryce saying fun to go, guys. Thank you. I feel like we're 3 episodes in, but we're starting to really hit our stride, figure each other out. I had no internet issues today, so
good.
That was wonderful.
You want me to hit the extra video, see if I can end it and get us on without a hitch? No?
I was gonna do it, but go right ahead. We'll see how Blair. We're gonna take the training wheels off for Blair to end episode 3
see
of
if I can do
Exposure.
Better.
Stay tuned for more from here at Love Rat. The brunch gimmick tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. Blair might be there. I might be. I don't know. I might show up for the brunch gimmick this weekend. I got a pretty light weekend, so we'll see. I'll
be there. So maybe you join me in Lawrence. Stop on by. We'll chat some wrestling.
We'll see. But all right.
Okay.
We're gonna go now. Do it. Peace.